Okay, so my name is Ryuzen Hayashi. I'm one of the priests of this Koyason Buddhist temple in Los Angeles. I was born in Japan in 1984. So I'm 29 years old. I will be 30 this year, and I've been working at this temple for the 2 years now as a priest. And it's a teaching of Buddhism. Especially this is a Shingon Buddhism. So this is a kind of esoteric Buddhism, one of the esoteric Buddhism. Mm-hmm. So yeah, it's really, I'm really happy to have this time.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you.
You say esoteric Buddhism. What is the differences between?
Esoteric Buddhism, we have some unexplainable aspect. It's kind of the blessing. It's like doing some ritual action, ritual service, and then bless the people's wishes, people's present time benefit. So this is a kind of esoteric aspect. So actually, Shakyamuni Buddha, exactly Buddha said, don't do that. It's like like a spiritual. It's like seems so mysterious action. It's not good. That's what Shakyamuni Buddha say. But the Mikyo is esoteric Buddhism. It's developed after he passed away.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. What brought you out here specifically from Japan?
It's a kind of tradition, one of the tradition. So how Japanese people observe their religion, especially the Buddhism and the Shintoism, this is a part of our culture now. So in these days, present time. So the many ideas soaks into the Japanese people's mind. Eventually, automatically, this is a really important how people receive some essence of their teaching. Eventually, like a naturally, the people receive it. It's more, I think, it's a greatest way, and I want to provide some, how to practice, as more easier. So for the people, that's what I come here.
Okay, perfect. What was the what was the training or the the path to becoming a priest?
Becoming priest. Actually, my situation, my hometown, and my home is a temple. And actually, my father also priest. And also my older brother, he is also priest. And after graduate university, it's a kind of normal university. It's not related to the Buddhism. And I went to the Koya Mount, our headquarters place, and to get into the school to become a priest. It's like people say that is a school, that place is a school, but how do I say? It's a kind of we still have our traditional training system. Mm-hmm. So just that place is the name is just a school, but the training place to become a priest.
Sure. Okay. Why don't we get into some of these here? Kind of the first one I was asking are some of the basic and fundamental aspects of Buddhism.
Especially the Shingon Buddhism. This is one of the Japanese Buddhism, and it started by the Kobo Daishi Kukai. He's a kind of pretty famous guy on Japanese history. And our founder, he's a founder, and our founder say that everyone has a possibility to become a Buddha in the present time. So there is many differences between the other Japanese Buddhism, but especially our teaching is more focused on the present time benefit.
What would when you especially when you give your services I went to on Sunday? What are things that you try to relate to people, and especially regarding Buddhism?
So how people started interesting? How do I say? When people interested in Buddhism, it's individually different, and the why people come to the temple because need some something good instruction or some answer. People need it, and then it's like there is some possibility people think can get some answer from the temple. And I want to introduce this for the congregation all the time. It's like the religion is a more the way of life. How to instruct your mind more nicely and then suits for the pleasant time and get the happiness. This is the most important point. So even we have a many idea after pass away before we born. So but every idea it must for the create present time happiness. That I want to teach people that what term pleasant future past and the present time is the most important time.
Okay.
Yeah.
Do you find your teachings at all influenced by your father's teachings?
Yeah, actually, the basic teaching of this Buddhism is a three things practice. People supposed to have a three things practice: pure and beautiful thoughts, deeds, and words. These things that makes people like a Buddha in the present time, and we usually have an incense offering. This is really one of the traditional things in Japan. You can see that many people have an incense offering, hand together, and a bow head. So this is actually three things. Eventually, people have three things. Bow head, say something word. We have a mantra. Even ask to the Buddha, give me some good health, give a good health for my family. Also, this is a good words, and pray from heart. This thing is a three things practice, and this teaching also can goes to the general. So I was a student. I was still I am a younger brother, I have an older brother, As a younger brother, as a kid, as a student, as a teacher, as a priest, there is a many three things practice exist. So especially this time, I'm a priest, and I think about my three things. And for the visitor who wanted to have an interview, try to have a good interview, to kind of cooperate,
Right.
as much as I can. It's kind of my three things. And
Yeah.
when succeeded, it maybe makes you happy.
Yeah.
That's what I thought.
Yeah,
So
I
this is,
appreciate that.
this basic teaching goes to the general, easier.
Right.
So it makes my life more better.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you. Let's see. What is it that separates like an aspect that separates Buddhism from other religions?
Okay, it's the Buddhism. Also, I told that founder said everyone has a possibility to become a Buddha. There is no differences, even the different gender, different nationality, different, any different background. It doesn't matter. So how to observe, is it like the teaching is not so exactly. How do I say? Seems not exactly. Sometimes expression is a little bit foggy, right? So because need a flexibility. So so this Buddhism and the asking how to develop the compassion, the kindness, own self, by own self. But mostly the other religion, of course, that religion goes well for some people, So we never against any religion.
Sure,
but
sure.
so the Buddhism is, I can say, Buddhism is more concentrate how develop some good things in your own side, own mind. So this is the kind of differences.
Right. Sure. Yeah. Rather than like an external thing such as other things. Yeah.
Some special existence can help the people, right? And then some other religion they usually pray to some special existence asking the help. So, but the Buddhism, everyone must be, must try to become a Buddha, everybody, and then they cooperate each other and they construct the world. This is the kind of the basic idea of
Right,
the
yeah.
Buddhism.
Okay. What are some of the religious traditions, like rituals or anything that Buddhism?
Oh yeah, because I've been speaking about the esoteric Buddhism.
Sure,
This
sure.
is a Tibetan Buddhism and the Japanese Buddhism. And, there is a different. The Japanese Buddhism exists, but especially Shingon Buddhism is one of the esoteric Buddhism. So, and I told that there is a difference. Is kind of we have a blessing. So we can bless the people's present time benefit. So there is we have a highest blessing. The name is Goma. It's a fire ritual. So it's make a fire on, especially in this place on a stage. We prepared a special table and during service make a fire by the priest. Use a udon stick and a udon stick, which is people write down the wishes.
Oh, okay.
Use a fire and the fire symbolize Buddha's wisdom, and they use Buddha's wisdom and burn the people's desire. This is the concept of this service. And this is also, special esoteric, ritual service.
Okay. Does your religion provide like a certain path or a guide for a future life?
Yes, of course. Like I before I told you that. So the three things practice. So this is can develop the many great kind of emotion. The feeling is kind of mind. So for everyone. So yes, and please imagine that when you being like a Buddha, it's like a perfect person. It's sometimes really kind, sometimes really strong, and they usually have a big knowledge and can decide as a neutral. So when you being like this person, so do you have can you see some problem in the future? Maybe not, right? So how do you be like that person individually? This is a kind of the concept and also principle of the Buddhism, I think.
Does your community of faith always like what is it like the type of people that you attract here?
Okay, the many people are, the people for, oftentimes coming here, the people who, that they are as a kind of second or third generation, the Japanese, from the Japanese immigration people. So, but mostly people start interested, especially esoteric aspect, how to have a mantras, how to have a mudras. Have you seen that? Have you heard that before? Mudra and sutra. Yeah. Mantra is, it's like we use a Sanskrit mantra. It's older time India's language. We never translate to Japanese because that letter is also the language exactly what Shakyamuni Buddha using. So that's why it's not need to translate.
Right.
Yeah.
What is the Buddhist belief on death and afterlife?
Yes, we have many idea after especially after pass away, especially after funeral. The departure takes 49 days. Walk through the darkness, and during the 49 days, the family will play for the departures, until 49 days. It's a help to walk through the darkness, and then departure will become a Buddha, part of the Bodhisattva, and it will help us. It's like a cooperation. Even after pass away, we can keep in touch, and then also we can, cooperate each other. And also we have a hell, an idea of hell. So there is 6 different worlds exist. Jigoku, Gaki, Chikusho, Shura, Nin, Ten. So exactly hell. Jigoku, Gaki. It's a Gaki. The hungry ghost world. Shura. It's a fighting world. Usually, all the time people fighting each other. Even businesses, relationship, any times.
Right.
And then human beings, and then Jigoku, Gaki, Chikusho, Shura. Before the fighting world, there is the animals world.
Okay.
And the fighting world, and the human beings world, and the God's world, and these 6 different worlds exist. And Buddha and the Bodhisattva is escape from this cycle, life cycle.
Right.
This is the idea of the after death in the Buddhism. But so let's think about it. Which time is important. So especially this Buddhism, the present time is most important.
Right.
When we have this idea of after pass away, what influence you can get in the present time. So this is a kind of the important point. So that when you done some bad things, bad things will come back to you. And if you done many bad things and then die, you go to hell. This is kind of the basic idea, in the world.
Yeah.
So so that idea makes pleasant more, I think, nicely.
Yeah.
So it's like you cannot do this many bad things.
Right.
And if you pick some monies up on the street, you can think, so what you supposed to do, following the Buddhism idea and then following the 3 things practice.
Right.
Yeah, and then decide something that decide the answer.
Right.
So maybe that is correct, and then that things will be, great consequences.